Hello my true crime friends, my name is Sheila and welcome to my channel. I have been interested in true crime pretty much all my life. I watch all of the shows on TV, I listen to the podcasts, I watch the podcasts, and I really enjoy it. But I still find myself asking questions like, why was this not done? What about this? What about that? So I figured, okay, let me create a channel and I could put my questions out there that I have, and maybe you guys can help me come to some conclusions with your opinions. So I'm new at this and I appreciate your patience while I work out the bugs. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, maybe share the video, so we can get some opinions from other people out there on the topics, you know, that I'm going to be talking about. So let's get started, okay? So I want to start out with one of the hottest topics of true crime right now, and that is the horrific murder of Shanann, Bella, CC, and Nico Watts. As you know, on August 13th of 2018, Chris Watts methodically murdered his entire family. Premeditated? Why, yes, of course it was. He even has finally admitted that he was planning it for weeks. He arranged on the Sunday, the day before, to be alone at the site where he planned to leave them. I think this really hits home to a lot of people, very close to home, because they were the all-American family. Beautiful family, beautiful home, good jobs, just, you know, loved football, everything. It was just the family next door, basically. And so I think a lot of people can really relate to that, that side of it. And I think that's what really intrigues so many people about this case, is that they were so normal and everything seemed so perfect. So as I said before, it was learned that through text, Chris arranged with a coworker to take care of the problem at the Survey 319 location. He was making sure that there was going to be no one out there but him. So that was part taken care of, so to speak. And then of course, Shanann arrives home at 1:48 in the morning, as we know from the Vivint, I believe is what it's called, surveillance. Now, do you think that he really waited until 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 4:30 to kill her? I'm not sure. I feel like that, you know, he probably did that a whole lot earlier. I've done some reading and I found a site, which I will reference below, talking about how he actually went into the girls' bedrooms and smothered them with their pillows, and he thought that they had passed, and then he goes back to bed with Shanann, and as he says, their argument ensued. Now, at some point after Shanann had passed, the babies wake up. So they, you know, he didn't actually complete the process of killing them. So then here he is, he's just murdered Shanann, and he thinks that he has already killed the babies. They walk in, or Bella walks in. However, I'm not exactly 100%. I don't know if we'll ever know, but supposedly Bella walked in, and he even made reference to that they looked like they were traumatized. Like, I don't know, I'm assuming black eyes, or I don't know. He did. That was not. I plan on getting the book, so I'm hoping that in the book it explains more, about that, what he's talking about there, and in connection with that, I'm sorry to jump around, but about the trauma, like they've been going through trauma. In his prison interview, he did make note that when he killed Bella in the back of his truck, that he remembered there was a mark or marks above her eye or eyes. So I thought that was strange that he would say that when there shouldn't really have been any marks, unless he really did do that and there was trauma to their face from being smothered. So back to the recording. If it recorded Shanann at 1:48 when she got home, why would it not have recorded Chris in the driveway when he backed his truck up, when he was walking back and forth? Because it shows Nicole Atkinson's car when she dropped her off and Shanann walking up. So it should have shown the driveway and what was going on. I personally believe after Shanann got home, he turned that off, disabled it somehow, and before he left, he turned it back on, because he got the notification that the garage door was left open. Oh yeah, who shut the garage door? And it also got Nicole Atkinson when she came to the house that day. So there's a window there from when Shanann got home until he leaves. It's not recording anything. Or did law enforcement, did they check that? Did they look and see if it did record anything, or if it was disabled? And that's something, another one of the unanswered questions that we talk about. There's also the theory that he did not do this alone. There was somebody there with him. Not sure, because they obviously, unless there was someone in the video when he was loading the truck and there really was two people, they didn't come out that way, because Nate's camera would have recorded that. However, in the, I want to say in the discovery, and when they checked Nicole Kissinger's phone, from what I understand, it pinged three times in Frederick. July 4th, she was at Chris and Shanann's home. July 14th, she was at Chris and Shanann's home. And amazingly, August 13th at 6:16 a.m. in Frederick. So I'm not saying that I know she was there, but it's kind of a coincidence, don't you think? So now we come to Nicole Atkinson showing up at the house. I think that she realized immediately that something was wrong, because she had the code to the house. She had taken care of their dog Dieter while Chris went to North Carolina for the last week of Shanann's trip. So she had the code to the house. And when she entered the code, the safety latch was in place. And I think at that moment she realized something is not right. Something is just not right. And then of course it took Chris, forever, from her son saying, he's told us a couple different things. he's already lied to us about, where he's at, when he's going to be here, where she went. And finally the police officer had to call, and Chris finally was like, okay, yes, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And that's when Nicole's son was like, yeah, he's told us that like 3 times. And so he finally arrives. Now when he gets there, notice he immediately goes to the garage, because he knows he can't get in the front door because he put the safety latch on. He knows that. Or why would you not have just gone through the front door? Doesn't make sense. So he goes through the garage, and he goes to Shanann's car and opens the door. What is he doing? What is he doing in the car? He leans in. Did he get something? Did he drop the keys off? Was her, I don't know. That was strange. So then he goes in the house to open the door to let Nicole and her son and the police officer in. What in the world is he doing for over a minute before he lets them in? Here's my theory. I believe he had her phone. He had it turned off so it wouldn't ping anywhere until maybe he got where he was going to use it, and he had to do something with that phone. So I believe that he ran upstairs, put her phone and her watch in the couch to hide that. So, then he comes downstairs and he lets everyone in. Okay, at that point, we all know what a fiasco the rest of that day ended up being. It was, him very strange, and I found it very interesting going back after knowing what he did, or how many other times he changed his story, but knowing what really happened, going back and watching that, knowing that they were gone, not gone, but gone, and that he did this, it's sickening. It's just sickening to watch how he acts and smiles, and the things that he does. But I have a theory, just my personal opinion, and of course I would love to have your input, your thoughts about what you think is going on. But my question is, what would have transpired had his co-workers not shown up at the site, had Nicole Atkinson not shown up at the house looking for Shanann, getting the law enforcement involved? What would have transpired? I think at some point he was going to send texts back and forth to anybody who texted her, like to make it look like everything was okay, I'm fine, don't worry, to give himself a few days, because if she took off, her purse shouldn't have been there, the medicines should not have been there, especially the EpiPen, because from her dad, she never left her home without the EpiPen or her phone. Of course, her phone was her life and her business, and she was a social media queen. And so I really think that he was going to, he thought he was going to have plenty of time to take care of those things, like get rid of her purse, get rid of like her phone, her watch, maybe some clothes or some things of the girls, to make it look like that that she just left on her own free will, and that I don't know where she is. So it's I know that he has done this deal with Cheryl and Cadle, the letters from Christopher. I plan on getting, I have the book ordered, and as soon as it gets here, I probably am thinking about doing a reading of it on my channel, and doing like, a partial reading of several chapters, and then like a small discussion about that. But I don't know if we will ever really know the truth, because from what I understand, he tells her some things he will take to the grave. Not sure what all that means, unless it's talking about, he's referencing, who helped him, what, was there. He talked about dark forces, and that, something just came over him and he had no control of himself, kind of hocus pocus, stuff. And so I'm not sure if, we will ever really know 100% the actual truth about what happened. Shanann was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. Bella and Cece, they were just absolutely adorable. They were just, the sweetest babies. And then of course they had, little Nico on the way. This destroyed a lot of families, a lot of people, and it was senseless. But I know I kind of jumped around. I apologize. I'm kind of new at this, but I would appreciate it if you would kind of, let me know in the comments below, what you think about some of the things that I brought up. You may not agree with my opinions. That's perfectly fine. But I still would like to hear yours, what your thoughts are on these things. And, there's so much more to talk about, on this. And I will be doing some more that'll kind of be like, condensed on just certain parts of the case. But I would so much appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. As I told you, I'm new, and I need subscribers, to see my content, and I would appreciate it if you would do that. And until next time, my true crime friends, I will see you then. Bye.